Hello everyone, bear with me. How's everyone doing? Just getting into my seat, nice and comfy. So I'll come on live, I'm gonna have a little go at this, see how I can help anyone. Anyone comes on, straight away one person's here. How can I help you? Drop your name and comments in the box below. Any help, any questions? Let's hear how we can help you basically. I was going to play a little bit around while people are coming on to see how we can share this and do things like that. Let's have a quick look. I am here, everyone. I'm just having a little play around on here, seeing what's going on, seeing how we can work this. So putting you, there's loads of tabs, and it all keeps changing week on week. So let me know how you're getting on, how we can help you. Are you having any struggles at the moment? Any motivational problems? Are you struggling to find deals? You don't know how to stack a deal? Just tell me how we can help you. Share and comment. Let's get people on here, see how we can help them as well. It's all about helping each other, especially in this absolutely crazy time at the moment. I know we can't say that big C word because a lot of things are getting taken down from media, YouTube, etc. If you say the big C word, what's happening at the moment. So can't really mention that. So how's it going? How's it going? I think I've sourced another property today. I'm probably going to buy myself. It's 54,000 in Stoke-on-Trent. Sadly, a old lady passed away. Her son's selling it. She had a heart attack. She was 92 or 94. So it's a shame, really. And it comes to that era where the house is really outdated. It's one that I will possibly buy myself. Around about 54k. That will be just under £1,500 stamp duty, 3%, so just under. Estimated £1,000 legals. We're going to be spending around about £30,000 on the renovation, and that'll give us up to £95,000 on the revaluation. Let me see if I can see it on here. So working all the numbers, even if I worked on 55k, £1,000 finder's fee, which I'll pay to my builder. And what happened on this one is we sourced this one together. We would have sold this on, so I'd still pay the builder in question for his time. It's always good. People will say that he will get paid. Bear with me, phone's going. People say he will get paid anyway, but it's always good to pay your consultants, your professionals when they are involved. So working through all the costs, upon a refinance of 95,000, I will take a 75% loan to value. I estimate the interest rate at 3.59, and this will give me round about £340 to £400 per calendar month cash flow. That's just a little single let. That's nice, right? A lot of people in the UK, £1,200 with 3 little single lets at this kind of level will be enough to allow them to sustain an okay lifestyle. £1,200 a month to anyone is pretty okay. It's a massive bonus. There's a very slim chance you're going to get even a £12,000 bonus every single year from your boss, unless he is a really nice boss. But year on year, it's not sustainable for him either. But that will give me round about a 23% return at £340 a month. If it was a case that let me change our rents, I'm just on my computer as well. So if we got $715 a month, it's going to be converted from 3-bed to a 4-bed. So that's going to be 27%, so 23 to 27% return on my money. After the first year, 37%. After the second year, 60%, and then infinite after that. It's left in the deal 17,000. So it comes down to how many properties do you want? £17,000 left in the deal. Hi Razwan, it's always good to see you on here. How can I help you, pal? But yeah, so these little things, and a lot of people are focusing on below market value. Why not focus on the returns? As long as it hits your returns, you don't really need all your cash back out. And it's pretty suicidal sometimes if you're going to go, let's just say a 6-bed all-en-suite and try and get all your money back out. But technically, in some areas, your value might be literally 125% of bricks and mortar. So just be careful on where you're investing. Work out what would be the bricks and mortar or the hybrid, what I call value, and what is the actual loan to value you're getting on the commercial value compared to the bricks and mortar. The last thing you want to be is 125% on a commercial mortgage, because not a lot of people know that on a commercial mortgage, people, well, the banks, commercial banks, can call in the loan. They can change their factors on the loan to values. They might say, oh, I'm sorry, we're going to drop our loan to value 65%. If you scale up pretty quickly, and let's just say you've got a £4 million portfolio, and they say we're dropping it by 10%, you could be asked within 28 days, not always the case, but sometimes, can you go and find £100,000? Have you got that in your bank waiting to just in case money if the banks come calling? Don't get me wrong, it's a strategy to get you scaled up, to get you to a level of where you need to be to get out of your job as everyone wants to do. But then, what is your next strategy? Plan that forward ahead. Are you going to get a repayment on your next one? Are you going to let them naturally pay down? Are you going to get an amortization mortgage where you have interest earning with a little bit of capital repayment? Just plan ahead. No one plans ahead like that. Hit your figures, 2 grand, 3 grand, 4 grand a month, whatever you want, and then get that next level scaling on your debt ratios. Where do you want to be over the next 10 years? Do you still want to be at 120% in 10 years' time? Or do you want to be down at 70, 65? It's all about your risk profile, nothing about me. So, hi Razwan, let's have a look. Help me get off the ground. I have some money. I want to invest in ideally BRR. Okay, yeah, so that's definitely a training model. So that's definitely what a lot of trainers are saying BRR are. So buy, refinance, refurbish, and buy. I forgot. Oh my God. Buy, refinance, remortgage, and repeat or rent. So literally, same again, Razwan. Just literally work through your spreadsheets. If you haven't got one, I'll put it down below. I do literally sell spreadsheets up. That would be amazing. Check down below after this. I'll put a link to my video how to use my spreadsheet. Make sure it's for you. It's normally £25. It's only £20 at the moment. But have a look. It'll help you massively. I'm not sure if you're already an investor or you're Razwan, or you're looking to get into property. You recognise the name from somewhere. But literally work for your spreadsheet. Work on your numbers. Work on the returns you're looking for. And literally, do you actually need to get all your money back out? And then focus on getting deals based on your returns that you want. But especially now, the market's absolutely booming at the moment. It's hot. I've seen properties on the auction going way over asking price. So literally, go through your spreadsheet, work through, pal, and just see what is it that you want. And that's the biggest advice I can ask you. I'm not sure where you are on your journey at the moment of doing this, but also talk to your brokers. No one ever tells you who's training to talk to your brokers. Make sure you can get a mortgage. Are you mortgageable? Have you got enough income? Is it sustainable? Is your job likely to stay over the next 12 to 18 months? These are the questions the bank's starting to ask. Have you got a business plan? Get the exit aligned from the beginning. Yes. So get all your statements in place. Talk to your broker. They'll say, yes, we can get you X. Might be 200 grand, 300 grand mortgage. That's fine on your current income. And then scale it back. Yes, what you'd have to do is, let's say in 3 months' time, you might have to go back to the banks and get another AIP, so an agreement in principle, but at least you've already asked the question for the end. There's no point buying something and go, I can't get a mortgage now, I can't get out of this. Set with the end in mind, then start scaling back into yourself, get the properties you need, and then you are 90% chance of getting what you need. Nothing's ever certain with the banks. They can change their minds, things like that. But definitely, anyone who's watching, please, please, please talk to your broker. Get some sort of an exit in mind. At least getting an okay from your broker saying you're okay to get something, and then look for your properties, because there's too many people now. I've seen 3 or 4 this year already. I know near the end of the year, but especially in the past 2 or 3 months, that are doing 6-bed HMOs and they can't get a mortgage because they've gone for try to 7. A 7 for your first property, it's not going to happen unless you do different things. A broker will advise you. You might have to get a business partner on board who's got the experience. You might have to get a builder on board who's got the experience. But if you haven't got the experience, what's the point in going big? Because you could also go broke. I need to get a normal buy-to-let before I go. No, that's when you don't really need to get a buy-to-let first, not at all. Literally, that's why I say talk to your broker. They will set this out in stone for you. You don't need to do that. People are getting, depends on where, same again or not, it's all about your returns, pal. So if you go and get a 3-bed, let's say a mid-terrace, convert it to a 4-bed, 5-bed, 6-bed, on your current situation, I've seen many investors who have gone straight to a 6-bed HMO. You won't get a commercial mortgage. You'll get some sort of a hybrid. So it could be a buy-to-let lender that allows HMOs. Basically what they're saying is, you're doing a HMO, we're happy for that, but we're going to charge you a higher interest rate. And not every lender does that. So definitely talk to your broker. And I have seen people going up to, on the first one, is 6 bed. But same again, are you a homeowner? How you own a buy to let? Have you been investing for 12 months? All these little ticks brings you as a risk profile down. Because if you're the bank lending me money and I've just come out of a job, I've quit my job, I've got no income, I haven't got my own home, I'm renting a house, and I've got no sustainable income, I'm a massive risk to you. Think in their eyes, you wouldn't lend to me. If I've got a fixed job and it's a long-term job, I've had a letter from me employee saying it's secure for 18 months, especially in this current climate. You've already got one, you're a homeowner, you've already got a buy-to-let, you've got a 12-month experience. You're ticking all these banks' boxes to say he's okay. He's a lower risk than someone with no job and literally no income, which you probably won't get a mortgage anyway. So talk to your broker. I'm sure most situations you can go up to a 6 bed, but you won't be able to go no bigger for sure. Yeah, I'll answer that one. I've got that as the spreadsheet. I've got it. Oh yeah, so if you already got my spreadsheet, that's great. Work through that. Literally, if you send me that spreadsheet over to me, if you've got my spreadsheet, to send it to development@pegasuspg.com. Let me have a look over it, and I'll give you some advice. If you're struggling with any bits of my spreadsheet, let me know, and I will do you a live recording, tell you how or where it's going wrong or how you can improve what you're doing. So yeah, I'll put that link below also. So send me that email. I'll look over it personally myself. So cheers, pal. I want to start small and simple, but yeah, definitely, like I say, it's always good to go small, just to get to know the game. That's what I did. I started off on my own house 2009. Then I bought my first buy to let in 2012. I paid £50,000. I put a video on that on YouTube as well, so go and find that video. I showed you all my numbers. I've got a creaky chair. So 50 grand purchase price, 13,500 refurbishment cost. I didn't incorporate my time. I didn't put a value on myself, because I didn't understand that back then. I was just winging it, basically. I thought, I lived in number 10 all my life, which is my parents' family home. I saw number 1 come on the market. I thought I'd buy that. In my head, back then, I wanted to buy the street. We've all played the game Monopoly, haven't we? So in my head, I wanted to buy. I didn't know nothing about property. All I knew was got my own home. I thought I'm going to buy the street. It's only a little street, number 1 to 13, a little block of flats. Number 2 to 10, a little block of flats. My parents own number 10. I buy number 1. I start to close the middle. But now I know that's pretty slim chance. All of the houses are still owned by the council. So now I know more. But 50 grand, 13.5 grand renovation. It came in 2 years later because I had a 2-year fixed. And it came in at 85, I think it was. I got it valued again 95 2 years after that. It's just been valued again at 110. So same again. I wasn't all about rushing, trying to get all my money back out, because then I didn't know. My intention back then was to get a capital repayment mortgage, 15 years. By the time I'm 40, I'll be able to have done and I'm retiring. That was just my mindset. It was a pension. But now I own a property business, so totally different mindset, different strategies and things like that. So definitely, pal, work your numbers, speak to your broker, check your returns you're after, and just get a little single. Let's understand the game. If it's not local to you and local to another area, find someone who you can trust, who you like especially, and get them to help you, because they're the ones that are going boots on the ground. If it's local to you, just get in there, do a bit of wallpaper stripping, pull the kitchen out, get to know the game. But if you're not into getting your hands dirty in that factor, because it's not for you, get in there when the builder and ask the questions, but let the builder know that you're going to be using them. You're happy to pay them another £1,000, but bear in mind, you won't be in there understanding, okay, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Why are you putting the steel in there? Ask these questions so you can understand your growth pattern in the future, because there will be a lot of rogue builders out there, and the rogue builders are going to be saying, oh, I'm sorry, Razwan, the issue is it's going to take me 3 weeks to fit that kitchen. Most normal homeowners won't have a clue. For me, I was like, no, sorry, it took me 4 days. Yes, I was an engineer, so I understand how to use tools, but if it takes me 4 days getting a joiner in to fit a kitchen with the tools and the constant experience, will definitely take 4 days or less. Who's saying that I fitted it right? That was in 2012. It's still there today, 8 years later. So it must be okay. So understand everything you do. But yeah, go ahead, get one. As soon as you get one, put a comment below. Let me hear from you. It'd be really good to do a Zoom recording with you as well as soon as you get your first one. I always like to hear the process of all different people and see if I can help in that way. So yeah, if you're on here live at the moment, I see quite a lot of people on. Just comment below. I'm here to help. Just been helping Razwan. So let's see who else is on here. Hi Gary, hope you're well, pal. Let's have a quick look. What is the most tax efficient way of putting money into a company when considering how you get it back out? Great question. Obviously, that's probably not the right one for me. I'm not an accountant. You'll need to speak to a tax strategist. Definitely a good person to look out for. It's a place to go. Is go on Property 118. A guy runs that called Mark Alexander. A really smart guy, very clever. Go and add him on Facebook. He's part of a team of like barristers, and they understand massive tax strategies, whether it's in the UK, whether it's offshore, whether it's limited companies. But there could be different ways. They might say put it into an ISA tax wrapper and then lend that out. They might say just do a director's loan into the company and charge an interest rate. But bear in mind, when you're doing that, you will get taxed on the interest. There's all different ways to do it, but definitely not my question 100%. I'm not even going to give you advice because I'll probably give you the wrong advice. That's why we employ the professionals, right? Because that's what we pay them to do. And it's just the same as, I'll go off the subject a little bit. A lot of people set up their own company, which is fine. It costs about 15 to 20 quid. But I've never done that. We've got about 9 companies now. And literally, I always pay an accountant. It's about 200 quid plus VAT. So 240. People say, why are you paying 10 to 12 times more? But if anything goes wrong, they're the one that set the company up. It's a bit like an insurance policy. They've done it. Yes, I'm a director, so I should oversee everything. But to be fair, I didn't know how to set a company up. Get them to do it for you. And plus, if you've got a business partner, you've got shareholders agreements, that'll be with your lawyers. But when your accountant set up your company for you, what you want to think about is you have an articles of association. It states on there what every director's responsibilities are. When you do it yourself, there's a good chance that the articles of association are a one-page document or not on there at all. If you fall out with a business partner, you go, yeah, but our responsibilities as a collective are X, Y, and Z. She'll say, well, where does it say that? Or he'll say, how do you know? You don't know, right? So I was set up, and most articles of association are around about 20 to 30 pages long. So why is people paying 20 quid and getting nothing to one page, where you pay more and get 20 to 30 pages of an article of association? So definitely, obviously, it's up to you, but I'd always pay for it because it gives you that bit of an insurance policy that's been done correct, or you'd hope it's been done correct. And plus, bear in mind that money you spent anyway, it's offset against your tax anyway. So it's a no-brainer for me. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but I thought I'd slip that in to let everyone know. What's a good area to look at for buy-to-let? Yeah, same again, Razwan. That's a bit of an open question. So where's the best to look? It does come down to where you're wanting to go, because do you want to go local? I'm not sure where you're from. Do you want to go up north? And a lot of London investors, because I've met hundreds, I've met thousands now. I used to meet them twice a day. I used to go in the morning for a coffee, go to meet a second investor in the afternoon. I'll do that day in, day out. And most people invest up north for the cash flow. And literally, if you invested probably 18 months ago up north, Midlands, let's say Stoke-on-Trent where I am, like now, the past 6 to 7 months have been booming. They have been going like London, but I believe London is also on the downhill at the moment. And I believe they dropped between 50 and 25%. So it's same again. Every area will have capital appreciation. Or sorry, most areas. Some of the poor areas won't do. And you can notice that from Rightmove. And same again, what I do, and I keep going back to, sorry, but to work out your returns on investment, what amount of capital, if you, let's just say you've got 200,000, what returns are you looking for? And then scale back from the exit in mind. If you're going to buy a £500,000 house, let's say more down towards London, what's your rent on that? How much deposit do you need? Is there any refurbishment? And will that hit your return on investment you're looking for? If not, go a little bit further north. Try maybe Northampton. Yes, no. Go to Leicester and Coventry, Stoke-on-Trent, the East Midlands. go to like Greater Manchester, Oldham, Rochdale, Stockport, Macclesfield, work your way up. And as soon as you're hitting the returns you want, put a line. Keep scaling up the UK, and let's see of your lines, your areas of where you're in. If you go down to Cardiff or Bristol, you might be same again. 400-500 grand might not get you the return you're looking for. Then start to home in. You've now got a massive sector. Let's just say from Greater Manchester down to Coventry, East Midlands, a massive circle, and go, okay, what I want to do now is find out what are the good people in them areas. Go on Facebook, get recommendations. I say I have someone in Leicester, Coventry, Northampton, Stoke, and Greater Manchester, and then talk to them people, get to know them. You might find that you like 3 of them. You're now whittling down your numbers bit by bit. But even then, I'd always advise you invest in 2 areas. People think I'm mad because investors say, John, I want to invest with you in Stoke. I'm like, if I was you, I'd want you to tell me what I'm going to tell you now. Always look at splitting your investment area. Let's just say you did go to Greater Manchester and Stoke. The issue is, if Stoke went pop or some major employer went, then you've always got the Manchester, Greater Manchester or wherever to try and prop up the rest of them and vice versa. It's absolutely amazing that people come to me saying, I want to invest with you in Stoke, but that's the information that I want to hear. It's not about the money anymore. It's about making sure you've spread your eggs a little bit, at least in 2 baskets. So look at that. Razwan, if you want, if you can send that email across with your spreadsheet and put your number on there, I'll try and give you a call actually, because you've got a lot of questions and I'd like to help you a little bit more. So do keep commenting. Who else on here? Is Stoke-on-Trent undervalued at the moment? Same again. If I had my time again, back in 2012, I thought I was paying too much money for my first buy-to-let. I paid 50 grand. Now, I wish I brought more because I just didn't know. Who knows undervalued? What does undervalued mean to you? So that deal I just shared there is they asked for 60. An agent's been said they want 60. Obviously, this owner has already told us we can buy it anyway because we met him about 6 to 7 months ago. My build team already know the owner, like the father, so that's good to hear. So we've got the connection. But literally, I bought a house just after Christmas this year. I paid 100,000. By the time you got your legals and stamp, 105,000. I've just gone and spent about 25 grand renovation on it because I literally sort of forgot about it like an idiot. So we just had a remortgage, waiting for that to come back now. My aim was to get 150. I've gone in for 180 because the next door neighbours is 180. So I think we'll be hitting around 150, 160. So same again. I paid 100 and I've been off 154. What is undervalued mean to you? There's always going to be a growth. I think Stoke is booming. They are just going to try and get planning now for 3,500 seater arena. If you check on Hanley, which is Stoke City Centre, they've got a massive regeneration scheme. They've had a brand new bus station about 4 years ago-ish now. They've changed all the fire stations. The Hilton Hotel have just gone and built a £20 million 4-star hotel in the city centre, 120 beds. As we all know, Hilton Hotel don't build a hotel unless they've done massive research. That literally next door but 2 to that hotel, the council have just gone and built an 11-story tower block, which is, I think, it's all self-contained flats. I can't remember. I want to say about 100 flats. They've just been planning past again in the city centre for a 13-story tower block, over 200 flats in there. Everything's going on. I say up the road, they've got them that big schedule for the 3,500 seater arena. They want to build a new multi-story car park, knocking the old one down. They want more coffee shops. They want gigging areas. Everything is planned in for there. They're starting to widen the roads to allow the traffic in and out of the city. That's in Hanley. Stoke Town Centre. This is where it's strange. Stoke Town Centre is probably one of the closest ones to the train station. The train station isn't in the city centre like most cities. They are trying to get the trams because years and years ago, back in the 50s, there used to be trams in Stoke. They got rid of them. They now have put on the plan to try and bring the trams back in the city from going from one side to the other, linking to the train station and up to the city centre. So they've got grand master plans. So in Stoke Town Centre, they've got a £20 million regeneration scheme. They've going to compulsory purchase certain buildings, knock them all down, put in wider entrances, and make a big complex. And that's where a lot of the students are going. So undervaluing is hard to say. You've got to work with people who know their area and make sure you can try and de-risk every deal as much as possible. There's always going to be a risk on no matter what you do. And most investors are on the fence. They are concerned, do I, don't I, do I buy now? But if you keep saying do I buy now, 2 years' time, you'll still be there going, do I buy now? I wish I bought 2 years ago. As long as numbers work, check your risk profile, check your interest rates. If you're going to go for a 2-year fixed, look for a variable rate as well. So what, as soon as you come off your 2-year fixed, let's say 3.5, what does that variable rate jump to? Is that 4.5? Is that 5%? In your stress test, will your cash flow still hit 5%? Is it still washing its face? What is your stress test up to? Can you get to 9% and still wash its face? If you can, even 6-7%, what's the chances in the next 2 to 5 years the interest going to 5%, 7%? And I can guarantee you would have thought, I wish I bought more. So I hope that helps a little bit, because these questions are coming in. So sorry, I'm not getting back to you pretty quick. Hi there, Opa Sayers, right? Bibek Ananda, gosh. Is your name Roy? So I live in Solihull. Okay, yeah, Razman, yeah, Solihull, yeah. So same again, you're just literally down the road from me, so not far at all. When I was an engineer back in the day, pre-2016, my main stomping ground for fixing commercial lifts on vehicles was Birmingham, Solihull, Gravelly Park. I did loads of National Grid trucks, Carlsberg trucks, things like that. So I've been around that area quite a bit. I don't know the investment area. I've got friends who are in the area. What area Stoke got a good sleep for? I want to spend 120 on my minimum 3 pay. Right, okay, yeah, so 120 grand. If you're going to put just cash in with no mortgage, or put down below, are you looking for a mortgage or not? So that'll help as well. But 120,000 will get you a good property, to be fair. The ones that I'd say stay away from right now is, let me get a drink, it's an area called Cobridge. That is literally where they sold off a number of years ago these sort of £1 houses. So you can understand, it was known when I was younger, especially even now, it was known as a red light district. So prostitutes, drug addicts, things like that, crime, knives, guns. It's calmed down a little bit, but if you just check on Cobridge, you'll see there's a massive junction by the Mercedes garage. On the one side of the road, they've gone and built some old land. They built some new build houses. They're around 180,000. If you cross over the road, the houses struggle to give them away, because the £35,000 to 45 probably now, maybe pushing 50 if you're lucky. But same again, it's an area that's got a reputation. There's not a lot around it, and probably poor quality homes. And the thing is, what's happened is, because the homes have become poor quality over the years, the landlord or the council have dropped the rents and then brought the lower rents in there. So the lower rents sometimes attract the wrong people, and especially they attract greedy landlords who are struggling at the moment. And what it is, people are buying there because it's cheap, but they can't rent the houses, or they rent them to the wrong people. And the issue with that is, there's a lot of messages going around on social media, on Facebook, where people are trying to create cannabis factories. And you can imagine, if you're getting £300 a month for a house, and someone comes along and, yet what I'll do is pay you 2 years rent up front, I'll pay you £300 a month. A lot of people are taking this money, it'll be okay. But people are setting up cannabis factories, not even going to do inspections. They aren't having agents because of the fact that they can't afford an agent on £300 a month. By the time they've got a bit of a mortgage on there, they've got to pay a few maintenance, the boiler might be stolen, things like that. So be very cautious of Cobridge. There is different streets. So part of Burslem, part of Tunstall, there is the odd street. I think it's like any area you go to, there is areas within areas. Single lets, like I say, depends on that price like you just said. So Hartsale, Penkle are quite a nice area. Obviously, I wouldn't live there because it is literally, it's near the hospital, so you get a lot of HMOs, but you don't get a lot of parking. If you want a sustainable property for your first one, look for something in a semi-detached house area, possibly in an ex-council house. Because I bought one a council house in Bentley. I currently live in Norton. So I like them because the semis, they get the front garden, a bit of a side garden, and a back garden. You probably have a sustainable, longer family. Even try and look for a 2-bed that you can, like, say this here, it was all the way back. This was a 2-bed. If it was, this was 3 originally. Most time you can split the front room to a 3-bed. So you will get that uplift in rent. You will get a slightly uplift in value as well. So definitely look for a semi. That'll give you your first one, more stability. Probably Eaton Park, Berry Hill. Look, because you want in a family long term, look where the good schools are. The people want the kids in a good school as well. So I hope that helps a little bit. I'll email you. Yeah, that was great. Send me an email. We'll have a chat. I'll stay on here a little bit longer. I'm just working out this new YouTube thing. If you're on here, put your questions, comments below. Let me hear how we can help you. Any problems, any issues, just hit me up. If you see this on a recording, put a comment down below. I will try and monitor them as well and try and reply to everyone. I need to sort out this bit of a squeaky chair. So, yeah, I thought I'd jump on. I'll try and do these a little bit more because I know people like to come on here and ask me questions, and I get a lot of private messages afterwards. So I really do appreciate this. So if I can help you, comment. I'm going to give it another couple of minutes and I'm going to shoot off. Top my drink up, have a hot coffee. I've got my water here while I'm chatting. But yeah, so I hope everyone's having a great week. It's been an absolutely nightmare of a year for most people. I'd start to look out for things on the commercial side for myself now. I've already bought an old club. We've got planning on for a 17-bed HMO. We're converting a nightclub to an 18-bed and 4 flats on the back at the moment. I've got probably 7 projects on for clients. I've just finished a 2-bed and a loft, which classed as a storage room, never been signed off. That was in Torque, which is part of Butt Lane, so on the outside of Torque. And literally, that was a 2-bed storage room. We've got to reconfigure the house with a client, gone for a single let. We've moved the bathroom to the centre. I think I've got a video on that down below, so I'll put a link for that. We've moved the bathroom. It's now a legal signed off 4-bed house, including the loft, all signed off by the building control officer. He brought that for 65. We've ended up spending about 50 grand. The budget was 35. It's 50 grand. We've just got it revalued. We thought we'd try and push the ceiling a little bit because a lot of down values at the moment. We tried for 140. He's got 140. He's absolutely over the moon. And that's a 4-bed, little family home. As I said, bought for 65, like pre-auction, spent 50 grand on the works. It's come back in at 140. We're now advertising that for rent at 750. So he's over the moon. It doesn't always happen like that. My motto is always expect the worst. If you can deal with the worst, then go ahead and get the job done. So really great. Any more questions before I go? Oh yeah. Hi Raz, I think you've just gone and answered your question a bit really. So yeah, they're the projects I'm working on. I've got 5-row housing. I've got 5 houses in a row, but they are blocks of flats. They are 1-bed, 1-bed, 1-bed on each one. We've nearly done one of them. We're probably partway through the second one. We've got 3 more to go. And what we're doing is we're converting the 3 1-bed flats to 2 2-beds, 1 1-bed, and a basement conversion as well. So that's going to be 20 flats over all them as well. So what else have I got on? Oh God, boom, boom, boom. Just finished with a single let, which is mine, which is a 3 to a 4-bed house. You know, look, the nightclub, the old gay bar. The biggest thing now for me is to look more for commercial. I'm seeing more and more properties coming up for sale in town centres and city centres. So I think it's a massive opportunity. Under these new permitted development rights, the council and the government need to come together to make massive changes, because it's okay changing like the use class into class E, but they still haven't done their housing needs. If they are falling short by 250,000 homes a year, they need to make a dramatic change to give investors the speed they want, the flexibility they want to push on and build more units. Because this like a restriction trying to get the plans passed for me are a nightmare. It's taken me 9 months to get plans passed on one building. That is not slow at all. Investors can't tie the money up for 9 months and then reinvest the money quicker because the council is slowing them down. I've met investors and architects who are moving out of different kind of areas to another area where their planning system is more sleek. It's moving along much quicker. So something needs to happen on that. And I'm looking at quite a number of commercial buildings at the moment, just because I think there's a lot of leeway that should be coming down the tracks. I may be wrong, and I may fall in the hole here, but that's my risk. I think buying pubs and nightclubs, as I always have done, because no one wants them. Most people want the permitted development, but that's where everyone went to. Everyone seemed to want office to resi, so I went to things that weren't office to resi. It's harder, more risky, but it's probably better returns. So that's where I'm focusing now on commercial more. Even though I'm doing commercial anyway, but I want to buy probably 4 next year. Just start scaling that up again now. So I hope that helps you, Razwan, as well. Checking the comments, bear with me, folks. I'll probably do 2 more questions if there is any. What projects have you done that one? I think I've done all the questions. I think I've rattled through them. So if you're on here now, quickly put your comments below. Anything to do with property, anything you're struggling with, motivation. I'll probably do 1 or 2 more, and then we'll shoot off. And as I said, if you are watching this back, put comments below. I will come back to you. If it's something big and significant, I will either do a live like this, or I will go and do a video on that. Hit me up. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Share this channel to anyone you think we can help with. There's hundreds and hundreds of videos. Do go ahead and watch them. And let's have a quick look. Just got in there. James Cox and Razwan. Okay, James, I'll come to you next. So, Razwan, so what are my thoughts on Samuel Leeds? I think it's like anyone, right? Everyone, I think Samuel's doing absolutely amazing things, to be fair. He's scaling it in his YouTube business. I don't think he takes any money from that, but it is a business, because it is a fact. You've got to do loads of videos, you've got to do editing, you've got to have a strategy in place. But he's got over 170,000 subscribers. That's a massive achievement, right? You've got to have the ambition to do that, and you've got to have some greatness for him, because that's a massive goal. The issue is what's happening is a lot of people have jumped on a bandwagon, is my opinion, to go, he's bad, he's bad, he's bad. They're bringing up a lot of things that I think are wrong. So people are giving him bad reviews. 170,000 subs. He's probably got 2 or 3, if not 4 times more people who've been through his training course. You are going to get bad reviews. People are sort of never going to have perfect reviews. If you go on Argos or Amazon, that's why they've got them 4 or 5 star ratings. And not a lot of people are 5-star rating, because someone's always got an opinion. Things don't go right for them, which is fine. But sometimes you've got to step back. You've got to own up to your own commitments. When I went on training, if I spent 15 to 18 grand, and what happened was I just hit the floor, nothing happened, the first person I've got to blame it is myself. If things went wrong, if I've got myself into debt, that's my issue. At the end of the day, it's up to me to take ownership of my responsibilities and anything that I've done. So I haven't got a problem with Samuel. I don't really know Samuel. I have seen quite a number of his videos, and it seems that everyone that's targeting, and I say targeting, whether it's right or wrong, is they've all been batted off. I know there's Facebook groups that have tried to challenge him. He's called them out and said, yo, let's have a chat. And I think that's a great thing to do. Have a chat about it. Say, yeah, okay. It might be something that if any of these haters actually have a live chat with him, you might even go, yeah, okay, I apologise. That bit, I am wrong. But everything, the Channel 4 programmes, a lot of things have been going on, and he's actually gone back and said, look, this is the reason why, or that is wrong. And people are starting to take all the videos back off. So I don't really know, to be fair. I haven't got an issue with him. I haven't got a problem. It seems to be giving a lot of great information to the public in YouTube, and that's got to be helping thousands of people. 170,000 subscribers is definitely helping a good 20% of them. So I haven't got an issue. It hasn't hurt me before. I say I'm literally black and white. Someone's hurt me, I'll grab a phone call, try and resolve the issue. If I was in the wrong, I'd apologise. I'd expect if he was in the wrong, he'd apologise. But No, hope that helps, mate. So I haven't got an issue at all whatsoever. James, over to you now, pal. So I have 3 or 4 acres of greenbelt land with certificates of lawfulness for a BH store distribution. How hard is it to get planning for housing? Great question, pal, as well, because if you've got let's have a look. If you've already got a certificate of lawfulness for BH store and distribution, then they've already pre-approved something to go on the land. It's not like they say, no, we won't allow you to build on greenbelt. But my first question is there, why aren't you looking into either selling that, or why don't you look into renting that out? Because from what I can gather, storage, distribution, and anything of that factor, industrial-wise, seems to be booming at the moment. What I do is look in your area, see if there's any possible potential renters, as in commercial. What I say is every retailer, let's just say tool station, let's say Screwfix. What I say is every person like that has got a property website. If you go on to Pizza Hut property, if you go on to Domino's property, go on to Tool Station property, they've all got a real estate website. Not a lot of people know that. Check in your area. Where's your local tool station? Where's your local Screwfix? Have they already got a base near you? Has Screwfix, but Tool Station hasn't. Has Tool Station, but Screwfix hasn't. Luke, who can be your tenant, they might sign a contract pre you building it. If you can get a 10-year contract with Tool Station, that might be more valuable than actually doing the homes. So definitely look into that. Same again, let me know how you get on, because it seems to be that's the way it's going. Talk to your local agent as well. See what their current supply and demand is. You might want to do smaller units, pardon me. But if you go and get a massive unit, and you get, let's say, say you got Amazon, then they want a massive unit. So definitely look into, could you get a long-term tenant in you're already pre-approved? Once you've got that certificate, you've got your lawfulness. Once you've got the documentation and evidence that they'll rent from you, you can possibly lend on the end value, which is based on the lease term, the lease value, the break clauses, etc. So definitely, I'd say, James, look into that. That could be a more profitable business, possibly. Okay, James, yes, that's what you're doing. But Tim, again, do you actually need all that land for waste? Could you segment that off? Could you get someone on half of it? I'm not sure how big the land is. But if you are thinking about doing that, what I'd say is just put a pre-application in. Get an architect to do a pre-app. You haven't got to do a massive detailed scheme. Just do squares. Your architect will get an overview of the land, put the squares in, put a really nice shape. I'm not sure how big your land is. Same again, try and make it more for greater media standards. Try and put a corner shop in there, maybe a takeaway amongst the site, maybe a little park, or try and make it where your council go, actually, I think I'd like to live there. Because you always, it's a people's game. People buy people. And if they see something they like, if you're going to cram in tiny houses with no amenities, then the council might hate it. But if you can go, actually, that's quite good, actually. It's down the road from a school. They're going to put a new park in. They're going to put a little doctor's surgery or whatever, depending on how big your land is. 3/4 acres, okay, yeah. So it's not massive. Look in that area. What kind of houses are around your land? Have you got houses? Have you got bungalows? Can you do a bungalow scheme? What's the price of bungalows? You might actually get more for a bungalow than a house in most areas. What is the current demand for bungalows? So definitely, James, what I'd say is put a pre-app in, just get their feedback, get your architect, drop some squares in. You might say, yeah, what I want to do is build 8 houses or 8 homes. They say, yeah, great idea, we like it. That's good, because that could be bungalows, could be houses, could be anything. A home can be classed as whatever. So I'd spend the money if you definitely want houses. get an architect to sort of drop some squares in, get an understanding of how many you can get in there, and then put a pre-application in. So that's what I definitely do, just so you can understand your value as well. So I think I've answered all the questions again. So what I'm going to do, guys and ladies, if you're on there, yeah, that's not a problem, James. So if you go ahead and do that, same again. Once you've done that, come back, comment below. If it helps you, I'd really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up, wherever that may be on your screen. Thumbs up, like, and don't forget to subscribe. I will do more of these, and I'll see everyone soon. So really appreciate all your comments. I think Razwan needs a medal. Razwan needs a medal. All these comments, I think his fingers are aching at the moment, but I hope it helps you all. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm going to sign off now. Going to get some tea, and I'll speak to you soon.